Hi guys, Mrs. Ani here. We're going to talk about lesson 5.4, which is practice with multiples of 10. We've been doing quite a bit of work with multiples of 10. Multiplying them together, we know that we typically multiply the whole numbers and then count the number of zeros in the factors, and place them at the end of the product. So we've also been working with converting typically metric measurements, metric units, and we've been working with that a little bit. That's what we're going to continue doing today. And we know that there's that one question that we need to ask ourselves: how many are in one? So let's take a look at a couple of examples here. All right, how many centimeters in 1 kilometer? So in order to solve this problem, I have to ask myself, how many centimeters are in 1 meter? I know that there are 100. We've talked about that prefix centi before, and we know that that means 100. If you don't know that, then you have to get out a resource of some sort, a textbook or some notes that you have written down or previous work that has that information on it. How many meters in 1 kilometer is another question I have to ask myself, because I know that there's a unit of measurement in between centimeters and kilometers. I know that there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So now I have a problem that says 100 times 1,000. I know how to do this work because I'm going to multiply the whole numbers together. So 1 times 1 is 1. And I'm going to count how many zeros there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to place those at the end of my product. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course I want to start from the back of the number to decide where my comma is going to go. So there are 100,000 what? 100,000 centimeters. Don't forget that label. Look back at what the question is asking you. All right, let's move on. Here's another problem. How many centimeters in 7 kilometers? Well, this problem is very similar. I'm going to ask myself how many centimeters are in 1 meter. We know that there are 100. And instead of asking myself how many centimeters are in 7 kilometers, because that answer might not be at the top of my head, I'm going to say how many are in 1,000. Now I'm going to take those same numbers, 100 times 1,000, and I know from the last problem that that equals 100,000. Not only that, but if you think about it, it really makes sense. If you have 100 groups of 1,000, you're going to have 100,000. But now the question continues. It wants to know how many are in 7. So if I have 100,000 in 1, I'm going to multiply that by 7 to find out how many centimeters are in 7 kilometers. We'll multiply those whole numbers together. 1 times 7 is 7, and I'm going to place that same number of zeros. What's it asking us? It's asking us about centimeters, so that's my label. All right, moving right along. How many cents are in $1,000? I'm going to ask myself how many cents are in in $1. How many cents in $1? I know that word cent means 100, and hopefully I've had enough prior experience with money that I know that there are 100 cents in $1. And now I need to know how many are in $1,000. So I'm going to say 100 times 1,000. I multiply the whole numbers together. Again, we've had practice with this problem. And because I don't have a cent sign, I'm just going to write the label cents, but you would write a C with a line through it. All right, let's take another look at an example. How many cents are in $5,000? Again, we're still going to ask ourselves the question, how many are in 1? Now we know that there are 100 pennies in every single dollar. So if we had $5,000, how many pennies or cents would we have? Let's multiply those whole numbers, place the zeros. We would have 500,000 cents. Did you get the same answer? Make sure you pause if you need to so that you can work out the problem on your own. All right, 2 more to go, and then I will let you get to work on your own. How many nickels are in $5,000? Now this one gets a little bit trickier. Again, I need some prior knowledge with money. I'm going to ask myself that question. What's the question again? That's right, how many are in 1? And I know if I didn't know how many nickels were in $1, I could do the math. I could count by fives because I know a nickel is worth 5 cents. So if I counted by fives all the way up to 100, which is how many cents are in $1, we would find out that there are 20 nickels in a dollar. And we need to know how many are in 5,000 of them. So we're going to take 20 times 5,000. So let's multiply those whole numbers. 5 times 2 is 10. And then how many zeros do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember, this 0, that was part of the product of these whole numbers, so that doesn't count. I still need to add on 4 more zeros. And the answer, of course, has to be labeled. What are they asking us about? They're asking us about nickels. Last problem, how many dimes are in $5,000? And for this problem, I need to know how many dimes are in $1. I know that there are 10 dimes in $1, but if I had $5,000, how many dimes would I have? I would have to multiply those whole numbers, place the zeros on the end, 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course add in that comma where it belongs. And what are they asking us about? They're asking us about dimes. If you have any questions at all, please come to me so that you can ask. Make sure you persevere and do this work. Make sure you're showing your thinking on your work. All right, hop to it. Good luck.